we go. Good day, ma'am. We are the group 3. We are presenting Principle 3. What is Principle 3? Condemn communication that degrades individual and humanity through distortion, intimidation, coercion, and violence, and through the expression of intolerance and hatred. These are the 5 examples of Principle 3.
Distortion. It is the distortion of a material or an object from its original shape. This may be elastic and transient or permanent. When an object is temporarily deformed, it can eventually regain its original shape. A distortion becomes permanent if it cannot be corrected in a finite period of time, or if it takes an endless amount of time.
Uh, this is an example of distortion. People like to make fun of their friends by creating distorted and final images of their face. They make the faces unrecognizable so that people can figure out who they are.
Intimidation can refer to the act of making someone feel timid or afraid, like what you sometimes should do to your brother, or it can also refer to that fearful feeling itself. Intimidation might make members of a jury hesitate to convict a defendant. Intimidation can also refer to feeling threatened, discouraged, or afraid because you're facing something stranger or superior. You might feel a sense of intimidation right before your soccer team plays the undefeated state champs.
Coercion. Coercion is an act of convincing someone to do something by the use of force or threats. Threats, especially the threats of using force against a person using coerce a party into acts against their will.
The example of coercion, if an ex-husband threatened to kill a kid they had together if the custody agreements was not signed.
Violence. Violence, as by the definition of World Health Organization, the international use of physical force or power, threatened or actual, against oneself, another person, or against a group of or community which either results in or has a high likelihood of resulting in injury, death, psychological harm, maldevelopment, or deprivation. There are three words categories for violence. First, we have self-directed violence. An example of this are suicidal behavior or self-abuse. Another board of categories are collective. This is a violence committed by larger by larger groups of individuals or by states. An example of this is crime of hate by organized groups, terrorist acts, or mob violence. The third board category is interpersonal. An example of this is family or intimate partner violence or domestic violence.
Other example of violence. Behavior involving physical force intended to hurt, damage, or kill someone or something. Other example, strength of emotion or unpleasant or destructive natural force.
Intolerance destroy the growth and development of a country and start violence between different groups. Intolerance is a hazard and an unacceptable quality that must be suppressed to grow in society. Example of intolerance: religious intolerance, treating someone unfairly because they are of a different religion or have different belief. or because they have no belief, or because someone thinks you have certain belief when you do not. For example, telling someone that their religion is stupid and excluding them from activities. Another example of religious intolerance, it can be as private and individual as a parent forbidding a child to date someone of a particular faith.
Example of intolerance. Intolerance is a lack of respect for practices or belief other than one's own. It also involves the rejection of people whom we perceive as different.
Hatred is often associated with intense feelings of anger, contempt, and disgust. Hatred sometimes seen as the opposite of love. Example like when someone feels hatred for another person, they often spend much of their time fixating on their anger, contempt, or dislike of the other person.